Hi everyone, this is Selina. Welcome back to one of my videos. I hope you're well. If you're new to this channel, welcome. My name's Selina and I release a crochet tutorial every week. In this week I'm bringing to you this beautiful patchwork cardigan. I absolutely love it. I really enjoyed making it. This is a really fun project and the free pattern is as always available on my blog selinaveronique.com. The link will be in the down bar, and as you can see, this cardigan is made out of granny squares that are all stitched together. So this pattern comes in sizes S to XXXL. I will be demonstrating size S. All the different sizes are available on my blog, like I just said, so just check out the free pattern. You can follow along this tutorial, of course, for any size that you want to make. That's not a problem. The only thing that will change is the number of squares that you will be stitching together and making before assembling the cardigan. That should be the only thing that changes between the sizes. So for this project I used this yarn, and I used Coboo by Lion Brand yarns, and this is a 51% cotton yarn and 49% rayon from bamboo. It comes in a 100-gram ball and it is considered a light 3 yarn in American terms and a DK weight yarn in British terms. And this was really a nice yarn to work with. As always, this is one of my favorite yarns. I did use, this is shade Silver, and I used shade Pale Pink also. So I used 2 different shades. So for size S, I used 3 skeins of the pink yarn and 2 skeins of the silver yarn. However, this may vary, the number of skeins that you need will vary depending on the size that you are making. So don't forget to check out my free pattern to find out what size, how many skeins of yarn you will need for the size you are making. You will also be needing a 4mm crochet hook, a tapestry needle, and a pair of scissors, and that's it. I will be speaking in US terms with British terms in brackets. And don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. That really helps out my channel. And if you want more feminine crochet content, don't forget to check out my Patreon page. The link is in the down bar. Okay, so to begin this project, you will be taking the grey yarn and making a slip knot. So just go ahead and make a slip knot. Take your 4mm crochet hook and pop it through that knot and tighten. And now what you will be doing is chaining 4. So just go ahead and chain 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. And once you've chained 4, you will be slip stitching through that first chain on your hook to create a circle. So just go ahead and slip stitch through that chain, and now we have a circle, and to begin we will be chaining 3. So 1, 2 and 3, and this counts as our first double crochet, and we will be placing 2 more double crochets within this center. So wrap your yarn around your hook, go into the circle, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on your hook. Take your yarn and pull through 2 loops, and take your yarn and pull through 2 loops, and that creates a double crochet. And you will be placing another double crochet within this center. So just go ahead and place a double crochet into that. Now chain 2, 1 and 2, and place another, so this counts as our first cluster of 3 double crochets, because the chain 3 at the beginning counts as a double crochet, as I said. Now place 3 more double crochets into the center. So 1, 2 and 3 double crochets, chain 2, 1 and 2, and place another 3 double crochets into the center. So as you can see, this is a very simple pattern. And now what you will be doing is chaining 2, 1 and 2, and place your fourth and last cluster of 3 double crochets inside this center. And once you've finished this cluster of 3 double crochets, to finish off this round you will be chaining 2, 1 and 2 and slip stitch through the chain 3 that we did at the beginning and fasten off. So you fastened off, and what I do recommend, so I forgot to say that I did sew in my loose end as I went. And so that means that once you've finished this round, you can pull on this loose end and tighten so that there is no gap here. And then you will be sewing in this loose end very tightly to avoid your project unraveling. So this is what the first round looks like. And now for round 2, I'm going to turn my work. I'm going to attach my yarn. I am going to attach it near where I finished, just because then I can sew in my loose ends more easily, but that's just a personal preference. So tie your new yarn onto the project, and now what you will be doing is you will be chaining 3. So 1, 2 and 3. And what you will be doing now is placing 2 more double crochets inside this space. So 1 and 2, and obviously the first chain 3 counts as a double crochet, and it counts as the first double crochet of this cluster. So now we are going to be chaining 2, 1 and 2 and placing another 3 double crochets within this space. So place 1, 2, 3 double crochets inside this space, and this is what it looks like. And as you can see, this is a corner, which is why we have placed a cluster of 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, and for this round each space will be a corner. So now go directly into the next space here with 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, chain 2 and 1, 2, 3. So like I said, this is another corner, so you will be placing 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, and now go directly into the next space with 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 3 double crochet. So as you can see, this is a very simple pattern. I love it. So we've managed to finish our third space, and now we are going to go into the next and last space for this round with 3 double crochets, 1, 2 and 3, chain 2 and place another 3 double crochets, 2 and 3, and we have finished this round. To finish off this round, we will be slip stitching directly into the 3rd chain of the 3 chain at the beginning of this round. So I've slip stitched, and this is what we have. I apologize for all the loose ends. However, this is unavoidable with this with the nature of this project. So I'm going to snip off my yarn, pull through to close off. Okay, so this is round 2. I am going to turn my work simply because I always turn my work with granny squares. Now you are going to be attaching your yarn. I again am going to attach my yarn where I left off. I just think it looks neater, but this is just a personal preference. So for row 3, I am going to be chaining 3, 1, 2 and 3 and placing 2 more double crochets inside this space. And because my granny square is growing, this is what I call a normal side space. So just a cluster of 3 double crochets is what we will be placing inside these spaces. Obviously we have 4 corners because this is a square, and in those corners of course we will be placing 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. But as the granny square will get bigger, our smaller side, what I call side stitches, are also gonna go, we will have more of those. I hope I'm making sense. So now go directly into the next space with 3 double crochets. So 1, 2 and 3, chain 2 and 1, 2, 3, and go directly into the next space with a simple cluster of 3 double crochets. So 1, 2 and 3, and go directly into the next space, which is also a corner, with 3 double crochets and chain 2, 3 double crochets, 2 and 3, and go directly into the next space with a cluster of 3 double crochets. Okay, so go into the next space. Sorry about that, this yarn is so thin. So 1, 2, 3, chain 2 and 3 double crochets, and just carry this pattern on. Obviously there's not a lot of stitches left, but carry this on. So in the next cluster, place 3 double crochets, and then in this one, the next one, which is also a corner, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, and I'll show you how to finish off this round. Okay, so I finished this round and this is what I have. So like I said, I apologize for all the loose ends. So to finish off this round, you are simply going to be slip stitching where we began, fastening off your yarn, and we only have 1 round left for this project. So pull your yarn through like this, through the loop, and this is what we have for round 3. And now turn your work and attach your pink yarn. So I'm just going to take my pink yarn and there we go. I'm going to attach it. And now that you've attached your pink yarn, you are going to be chaining 3, 1, 2, 3, 2 double crochets, because this is a side stitch, like I call them. We are simply going to be placing a cluster of 3 double crochets. We've already reached a corner, so 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, and go into the next stitch, the next space with 3 double crochets, and into the next space with 3 double crochets, and go into the next space, which is also a corner, with 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, and carry this pattern on. So in the next cluster place, in the next space, place 3 double crochets, in the next space 3 double crochets, and then in the next space 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, and so on and so forth until you get until you finish almost this round, and then I'll show you how to finish off this round. Okay, so I finished this round and I slip stitched like I usually do to finish off a round, and I fastened off, and I also tidied up all my loose ends because it does look a lot better, and visually it is easier to see the different rounds without all the loose ends. I will be linking a video that I did a few years ago on how to tidy up your loose ends, so check that out. So just go ahead and make as many squares as you need for the size that you are making. So just go ahead and look on my free pattern on my blog, linked in the description box, how many squares that you need to make, and just crochet the right number of squares that you need, and then I'll get back to you, show you the rest of the pattern. Okay, so I'm back and I'm going to show you how to stitch all your squares together. So for size SM, I actually had 60 squares in total, and so I've already stitched most of my squares together, but I will show you how to do this in a moment. But just so you know, for all the different sizes I have taken pictures, so check out my free pattern on my blog selinaveronique.com just to see the exact number of squares you need for the different sizes, and the exact number you need for the back and the front panel. And so that's the back panel, and then for the front panels, this is what I have. Again, this is all explained in detail on the free pattern, so I'm not going to dive too deep here. But as you can see, these front panels here are made of 2 rows of 1, 2, 3, 4 squares each, and obviously there will be a gap in the middle. So this is a case for this part of the project, so this is size SM. I do know that for some sizes there is a gap, and for different sizes there isn't a gap. I hope I'm making sense, but in any case, for all sizes the principle is the exact same. So you will be placing your project like this. I'll go into detail in a minute. Obviously I wasn't going to show you the whole process. Sewing in all these squares has taken me literally all day. Yeah, I started off early this morning. I had, I think, about 10 squares left to make, and then by the time I made those and then started sewing them together, I can honestly say that I've spent the whole day sewing and stitching, and I don't think I've ever sewed in as many loose ends as I have for this project. So as you can see, I've just tied my piece of yarn, and what I am using is the mattress stitch. So just let me zoom in a bit just so that you can see a bit better. And you will be stitching each square as best you can. And for the mattress stitch, you are going in one side and then directly going in the other. So in one side and into the other, and just make sure that you sew each and every square. I'm not gonna lie, sewing in my squares was quite a challenge. It did become a bit tedious, I'm not gonna lie, after a while. However, this is what you will have, so I'll just let you carry this on. Obviously sew in all your squares, and yeah, I'm just gonna go round. So obviously yeah, I'm gonna attach each side of my squares, and then I'll get back to you to show you the rest of the project. Okay, so I've placed my project flat, and as you can see, this is the back panel, and I've placed my my two front panels like this. So you always want, as I said, no matter what the size, you are going to place this on top symmetrically, and you are going to be stitching the top of the project. So we are going to be sewing from this to this part here for now. So just attach your yarn like you normally would, and like you've just done for all your squares. Just attach the yarn and sew in that part like I just showed you with the squares, and then I'll show you what to do next and do the other side also. Okay, so I've sewed the top on, as you can see. So I've sewed this. Now just pop this to the side. So this is my sleeve, and so for size S, as you can see, I have 4 squares high and 4 squares across, and obviously this creates a perfect square once again. And so this is for size S. For the different sizes, I will be indicating this in the written pattern, so check that out. Obviously you will have more squares for the different sizes. So for now, what we are going to be doing is folding this in half like this across, and so this is the length of the sleeve, and we are simply going to be seaming this seam here. Okay, so to seam this sleeve, so we are going to be doing both sleeves. And so to begin, I've attached my yarn and I've created a knot, and what I am going to be doing is seaming this, and to seam this we are using the mattress stitch. So we are going in one side and out the other side, and this creates a seamless stitch for this project. So I'll just let you carry this on, and then I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so I'm back and I've sewed in this sleeve, and now I'm going to show you how to sew in your cardigan. So I've already done the other side. I've sewed on the sleeve here, as you can see, and this side. So now I'm going to show you how to sew the sleeve onto your cardigan, and also how to sew the front and back panels together. Okay, so here we are. I've attached my yarn onto my tapestry needle, and I'm simply going to attach my yarn onto one side here, and we are simply going to be sewing the front panel. So I hope you can see, I'm just going to move this like we did prior with the mattress stitch, or whichever stitch you prefer, and we're just going to be sewing in the front panel to the front of the cardigan, the front of the sleeve. So just make sure you don't catch the back of the sleeve, obviously. But yeah, and just a little detail, I've placed my seam at the bottom here. I just think it gives a nicer look to the project, so make sure that the seam that you've just made for your sleeve is facing down. Obviously, with this being a patchwork cardigan, there are seams everywhere, but I just think that the main seam looks nicer looking down. So just go ahead and do this, and I'll get back to you once I reach this part. Okay, so I finished sewing the front of the sleeve to the front of the cardigan. The back of the sleeve is not yet sewed in, but what we are going to be doing, this is my personal way of sewing cardigans and jumpers, is that I'm going to directly go down and finish off this seam here. So I'm just going to be carrying on with this seam, placing stitches and sewing the back and the front panel together, just because I think it gives a nicer look to the project. So just go ahead and do that. Yeah, and then I'll get back to you to show you the rest of the cardigan. I am going, once I finished this seam, sewing the front and the back, I will be flipping the cardigan over and sewing the back of the cardigan with the back of the sleeve. So yeah, I'll get back to you to show you that. Okay, so I've gone down and sewed in this loose end, and now I'm going to flip the cardigan over like this, and I am simply going to be sewing in the back of the cardigan to the back of the sleeve. I already have a loose end, so this is just very straightforward. It's very easy. Just sew this in. Yeah, so I'll let you carry this on, and then once you reach the top of the cardigan, just fasten off and tidy up your loose end, and I'll show you the rest of the pattern. Okay, so I've sewed in all my cardigan. So now this is what we have. We have a front opening here, and depending on the size of your cardigan, this opening will be will look like this, or it might be smaller. So don't forget to check out the free pattern. So now I'm going to show you how to crochet your sleeve cuff, and I have already made one, as you can see, and I'm just gonna show you how to make your the other side. So for the sleeve, you are going to be attaching your yarn. So I've attached it near the seam just because it will look neater. Chain one, and this chain one does not count as a single crochet. What you are going to be doing is placing a single crochet into that stitch. Okay, so I've placed a single crochet. Now I am going to skip the next stitch and go into the next with a single crochet, then skip the next stitch and go into the next with a single crochet, and skip a stitch and go into the next with a single crochet. Now skip a stitch and go into the next with a single crochet, and skip a stitch and go into the next with a single crochet, skip a stitch and go into the next with a single crochet, and skip a stitch and go into the next with a single crochet, skip a stitch and go into the next, and carry this on, placing a single crochet, then skipping a stitch, then placing a single crochet until you reach the end of this round. Okay, so I've placed all my single crochets. Now I'm going to slip stitch through the first single crochet that we made, and we have finished round 1. And now for round 2 we are going to be chaining 2, and this counts as our first half double crochet, and we are going to be going into the next stitch with a half double crochet and into the next stitch with another half double crochet and into the next stitch with another half double crochet, and just place a half double crochet into each stitch across until you reach the end of this round. So I finished placing half double crochets all across this round, and to finish off this round you are going to slip stitch through the chain 2 that we made to close off this round. And now you are going to be repeating this round, so chain 2, and this counts as our first half double crochet, and just place a half double crochet into each stitch across until you reach the end of this round. So just place a half double crochet, and just once you finish this round, just slip stitch to the first chain 2 that you made to close off the round, and then repeat this round another 6 times so that you have 8 rounds of half double crochets in total. And once you have 8 rounds of half double crochets in total, I'll show you what to do then. Okay, so I finished my sleeves. I really like how they look. So now I'm going to show you the front opening. So for the front opening, I'm simply going to attach my yarn. So I've attached my yarn on the bottom corner here, and I am going to be chaining 1. And now what I am going to be doing, I'm just going to zoom in a bit. I'm just going to place a single crochet all across the front edging. So just go into the next stitch with a single crochet, go into the next stitch with a single crochet, and go into the next stitch with a single crochet, and the first chain 1 at the beginning counts as a single crochet. So just go placing all your single crochets in each and every stitch across, and just go all the way. So let me tease you. You need to go all the way to the top and then down again, and then I'll show you what to do then. Okay, so I've gone around the entire front opening, as you can see. So I'm just trying to show you as best I can on camera. It's not easy with such a large project, but I've gone all the way around the front opening, so this side and then up here, and then I've gone down to the bottom here with a single crochet. And now for row 2 we are going to be chaining 2. I'm just going to switch this round, chain 2, and this counts as your first half double crochet. And now we are going to be placing a half double crochet into the next stitch, and to make a half double crochet, wrap your yarn around your hook, go into that stitch, pull up a loop. You've got 3 loops on your hook, and take your yarn and go through 3 loops. And now go into the next stitch with a half double crochet, and into the next stitch with a half double crochet, and just place a half double crochet into each stitch across all the way around until you reach the beginning of the previous round. So just go into each stitch across, and then I'll show you what to do then. Okay, I finished. I've gone all the way around, and so I'm just going to snip my yarn off because we only have 2 rows for the front of the cardigan. And now we are going to be making the bottom edging. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to make the bottom edging. So for the bottom edging, you are going to be going from this stitch and all the way around to this stitch, including the border that we've just made, the front opening border. And so just attach your yarn to this stitch, which is the edging border that we just made. So just attach your yarn here, and now we are simply going to be placing once again a single crochet all the way around. So I've just turned my my project round. Sorry about this. Okay, so I am going to be zooming in. There we go. So it's pretty straightforward. Just chain 1, and this counts as a single crochet. Now then go into the next stitch with a single crochet, and go into the next stitch with a single crochet, and into the next stitch, and just place a single crochet all the way around into each stitch across. Yeah, and then I'll show you what to do once you reach the other side. Okay, so I've gone all the way around with my single crochets, and now you are simply going to be repeating what we've done up till now with each edging. It's the exact same principle. Just turn your work and place a row of half double crochet. So chain 2, and this counts as your first half double crochet. Go into the next stitch with a half double crochet, and into the next stitch with a half double crochet, and into the next stitch, and just place a half double crochet into each and every stitch across until you reach the end of this row. Okay, so I've gone all the way around with my half double crochet row, and now I am going to be creating my next rows. And so the next rows are going to be very similar, or actually identical to the sleeves. So you are going to be adding 7 more rows of half double crochets, and so that will be 8 rows in total. So just go ahead and I'll show you briefly. This is just a repeat 1 and 2, that counts as your first half double crochet, and then go into the next stitch with a half double crochet, and into the next stitch, and into the next stitch, and just place a half double crochet into each stitch across, and then I'll show you what to do next. So just go ahead and place a half double crochet, another half double crochet row, and then repeat this until you have 8 half double crochet rows in total. Okay, so I finished this cardigan. I've just finished the bottom edging. As you can see, I've placed my 8 rows and I'm really pleased with how this looks. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and don't forget to check out my Patreon page for more feminine crochet content. And thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.